So the E90 is making a little rattling noise when coming or decelerating and coming close to a stop, and also a little bit when accelerating from a stop. Check out the clip here. So I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out what's rattling under the car. And during that test drive, as you can see, it sounded like it was coming from the back. So I'm gonna lift the back up, the rear end up, and check out if anything is loose down there. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was that this back panel here had a bunch of little rocks and pebbles, and when I was hitting it, it was making a bunch of noises. I'm not sure if that's the exact noise or, you know, where the noise is coming from, but I also noticed that this charcoal canister here is loose, and then I looked at it closer. The little slot right in between here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see. Right there, it's not even clipped in. So I'm gonna put that in there and see what happens. But I'm gonna dig further to see if there's anything else. So let me go ahead and put this into the slot first. So far, I pulled out more little tiny rocks. Now on this side, and there was another center area here. But other than that, I wasn't able to find anything else. So what I'm gonna do is actually get the front side up and see if anything under there is rattling. Okay, front side is up, and check this out. Lower belly pan, super loose. That definitely can make a rattling sound, but I am not sure if that is the actual culprit, because the rattling sounds more like metal rattling rather than plastic, but who would know? Let me tighten this down and check for more up in the front and go from there. So I secured the front belly pan and knocked out a bunch more little rocks and stuff and gravel. So let's see how that goes. I'm gonna give it a drive tomorrow to work and see if it's still making that rattling noise. All right guys, so I found the culprit of the rattling noise. It's actually coming from the exhaust valve on the rear muffler. So when the exhaust valve is closed, it actually has a lot of play. So let me show you guys and show you guys the sound. So I'm gonna try and close the valve right now, and then you guys hear that. That is the rattling noise, because it's, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's loose or something. So for the time being, to get rid of that rattling noise, what I did was I disabled that exhaust valve by just pulling off the vacuum line, plugging up the vacuum line, and tying the vacuum line up somewhere up there so that it doesn't wiggle around. And let me show you how I did that. Here's where the vacuum line is. Underbody muffler right there. Pull this vacuum line off, and then I'm gonna plug it with a little screw. Here's the screw that I used to plug the vacuum hose, and then I also zip tied it down so the screw doesn't fall out. And then here's how I tied it up. I just zip tied it to its original hose and just pushed it up. You know, after doing some research on the functionality of the exhaust valve, it kind of makes sense why it was rattling during decel and in lower RPMs and lower gears, because basically the functionality of that valve is that it's closed in the lower RPM, lower gears to help with some sort of noise reduction. So that's why it kind of makes sense. With the vacuum unplugged and basically the valve disabled, it's just going to leave the valve open all the time. And yes, it's just going to give you a little bit more sound in the lower RPM, but nothing crazy. So now let's go for a test drive, and let me show you guys what it sounds like now. Basically, no more rattling. And here it is, guys. No more rattling sound. Now that gives me more of a reason to do a muffler delete. So if you guys have a similar rattling issue, I hope that this video can help you guys out. If you guys missed the intro video for the E90 330i, make sure you guys go and check it out here, and also subscribe to my channel right here. Thanks.